Just wanted to do a quick video, my hot take on what's going on with DC Comics. As you have likely heard, if you're in the loop, if you're a comic book fan, Dan DiDio has been fired as editor-in-chief of DC Comics, and many people in the industry and formerly of the industry are interpreting this as the death knell for DC Comics. At least the publishing wing of DC Comics, the comic book wing of DC Comics. Now, there are a lot of different ways to interpret this. Well, actually, no. There's only one way to interpret this. This is the end. This is the end, my friend. DC's parent company, AT&T, has issued an ultimatum. If they don't get their numbers up this year, they are gone, baby, gone. They are going to be shut down. Now, I and many other people see this as the death knell for DC Comics because it looks like what they're going to do, what they're planning, is something called 5G, which is going to be another reboot, I suppose. And what they're going to do is they're going to do everything that has put Marvel Comics in the red. They're going to go full bore in embracing identity politics, and they're going to replace their legacy characters with new characters. Now, I have nothing against creating new characters, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to do what Marvel did, and they're going to replace their legacy characters with these new characters. So where Marvel turned Iron Man into a black teenage girl, they're probably going to turn Batman into a transsexual Eskimo albino. This is going to, needless to say, not going to draw in any new customers, any new readers, because social justice warriors, while they demanded all these changes to comic books, they don't support the projects and they don't support the products that they demand. So you get the worst of both worlds. You lose the old fans and you don't get any new ones. Personally, I think the way to save DC would be to, very simply, turn the characters into heroes again. Because the heroes haven't been acting like heroes since the social justice era began. If anything, they've been acting more like villains. As your boy Zach says, if social justice warriors had superpowers, they would use them to hurt you. They wouldn't be thinking about all the good they could do. They wouldn't be thinking about who they could save. They'd be thinking about who they could hurt. And that's reflected in their writing. Because heroes, as they write them, don't act like heroes anymore. How do you get the old readers back? You turn the heroes into heroes again. But looks like they're not going to do that, so bye-bye, DC. So as an indie creator, how does this affect me and my fellow indie creators? How does this affect Comicsgate? I think it could be nothing but a good thing for us, because people are still going to want to read comics, and where are they going to get them? They're going to get them from me and my fellow Comicsgate creators, my fellow indie creators, and we're going to do bang up business. Our sales are going to go up. Nobody wants to read this trash that's being published by Marvel and DC right now. That includes the social justice warriors who demanded that comics be made this way. This year we saw the death of Vertigo because, why? They hired Zoe Quinn, of all people, to write for them. So she wrote some SJW comics, they failed, and she took the venerable imprint of Vertigo down with her. And, now she's working for Marvel, isn't she? That's a great thing about being an SJW. You fail up. So, where does that leave us? The death of an American institution. I think that's something that, isn't something that should be celebrated. It's not something that, I see approaching with a sense of glee. It's really with a sense of sadness, of sorrow. What's the future going to be? What's the landscape going to look like without DC? We're going to see the death of Marvel very soon, that's for sure, because AT&T, who owns DC, and Disney, who owns Marvel, they don't care about the comic books. They're making billions of dollars hands over fist with the movies and the Funko Pop heads and all that crap. So the comic books have basically turned into marketing tools for the movies and for the toys and the video games and all that stuff. So it's sad, but thank you, SJWs. And I have friends who are SJWs, and I try not to hate SJWs. They drive me crazy, they make me angry, and they annoy me, but I try not to hate them. But this is one of those occasions where I really just want to say, fuck you. Fuck you for ruining an American institution. Fuck you for ruining an American medium. People forget. Comic books were created here. It's an American creation. It's one of, I think, 5 American art forms that are native to these shores. It's like, I think jazz music, banjo, comic books, and I forget, quite frankly, what the other 2 are. But this is a tragedy. We invented comic books, and now we're going into a future where Americans don't produce comic books anymore. All the comic books in the future now are going to be coming from Europe. I don't have a problem with that. Europe makes kick-ass comics. And Japan, who also make kick-ass comics. But still, it's like, they shouldn't be whipping our asses. We should be whipping their asses. We should at least be competitive, at the very least. Instead, what are we doing? The industry rolled over on its back. It gave the SJWs an inch. They took a mile, and that has resulted in the imminent death of DC Comics. So, that's my hot take. And it is a hot take. I need to calm down. What can I say? This stuff gets me hot under the collar. It gets me emotional. Yeah, because I love comics, and even though this is going to be something that I think is good for indie creators, it's going to be great for Comicsgate. It's still bad for America. It's bad for the world. It's bad for the culture, and quite frankly, it's going to be a very, very sad moment when the final nail gets driven into the coffin. So, any of you folks that are celebrating, I'm not going to be dancing. I'm not going to be dancing on DC's grave. I'm going to be leaving flowers. I will be mourning the death of DC Comics, because it ain't a good thing. So, anyway, that's my hot take, folks. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace, love, and soul.